So before coming to the pod, so one thing is very clear that vehicles spend most of their time in the parking areas, right? So more than 90-95% of their times are in parking area when it comes to passenger vehicles. Yes. So because they spend that longer time in the parking area, so it is better to have a station where they are already, these vehicles are there. Station in the sense of a very simple solution so that they can charge their vehicle, and instead of always going out and looking for a space to charge, so wherever they are existing, or wherever they are at that particular point in this parking areas, so it will make more sense to install charging station in these locations. So that is the idea behind pod. It is a very simple solution. It is a simple socket solution, okay, integrated with different functions, so to make the whole idea of charging very simple at home. And the biggest positive about pod is that it is cost effective. So when I say pod, so I was explaining about what is happening with the housing societies today, right? So the housing societies are not enabled for charging. Basically, they don't have the electrical infra, ready for charging. So what we are trying to do at this point of time is integrate the idea of pod at the design stage of the building. So we help them understand that to make their building charging enabled adds value to their building, one, and is also adding value to the people who live in the building or work in that building. So that is the most important thing, and that is the problem that pod is solving at this point of time, being cost effective. So what it is, basically it is just your normal 3-pin socket where you can plug in your onboard or portable charger that comes along with your vehicle, and it will charge your vehicle over time depending on the battery size. So effectively, pod will so the cost factor of pod will make a charging point available for each and every one, a smart charging point made available for each and every one, and they can know. So basically, let's say there is a parking lot of 100 vehicles. Building is coming up with a parking lot of 100 vehicles, and they want to enable charging for each and every parking location, and each of this parking location pod can be installed. So, and that particular device is only used by the person who owns that particular parking space, or whom that person authenticates to use the parking space. So basically what we are trying to do here is one person is allotted one point of charging, and there is authentication for that person. There is energy metering, how much energy is utilized overall by that person or his vehicle, his or her vehicle, to charge. So what pod does is basically gives an option for everybody to charge at a very nominal cost.
Makes sense. Absolutely.
So it is clearly something that we are helping commercial and residential spaces to be charge ready for the future. When electric vehicles become the thing, when they actually so we are in a very early stage right now. There will be a point where it will become so all this pent up aggression, it will become into a real buying spree. That is what we are waiting for, and that is when our infrastructure has to be ready to service these vehicles at any point of time. That is the idea.